Look at all those girls on the sand dunes. Right, let's continue Kunya's tale in this. Welcome to the next part of the Beastmaster Princess, where we're playing as Kunya, who, yeah, the name is just, it reminds me of something beginning with C. Anyway, let's continue. Alright, yes. We'll form two groups. One to look at the ingredients and the other to find Meryl. It will be done, alright? Sorry, load. Alright, yeah, okay, well, my Meryl will be done. The diplomat seems to accept that and goes back to her people, reassuring them and speaking to with their healers. Action is happening all over, but I have this fear that it won't be enough. What if a bit of pressure is all it takes to ruin the situation? Kunya, you and your friends will do one of the two. Shane, you and your men will do the other. One of you will find the ingredient, the other will travel south to the plateau. The group goes to the plateau, she'll be able to see all the way to the village. We can ensure its safety and check the surrounding area for any sign of the prince at the same time. That plan allows us to do everything we need to do. Shane rolls his eyes at me, but he doesn't say anything against my father's plan. The rest of the nomads, including me, will stay here to help the elves. Kunya, which task would you like to work on? Luna comes out from her tent and we fill her on the plan. She shuffles her feet but then glances back at her tent and the elves. Respectfully, I would like to stay. I'm the only shaman able to prepare the antidote and it takes time, and get everything set for when the team returns with the ingredient. Chief Girl nods and then looks at me for my choice. I'd love to get the ingredient and make sure that everyone else is protected, but our village is important and I'm not sure which option is better. We help gather the ingredient. I don't know if it will affect your decision, but the ingredient is the egg of a wild griffin. Thank you for telling me, but it doesn't change my choice. Takara, Manila, Liara and I will go find this egg so that we can make sure that everyone is healthy enough to continue. Shane snorts. Of course you'd choose that. I don't see why you're complaining. You get to make sure the village is protected just like you want to. With an annoyed grunt, Shane signals his men. We'll head south while I gather the girls and head to a nearby mountainous area. Manila is still recovering, so I help her by putting my hands on her sides whenever we climb a particularly bothersome boulder. I can do it myself. I know, I just enjoy touching you, what can I say? She shakes her head at me but doesn't correct me again. I think deep down, she likes the extra attention, just a little. She'd probably have protested more if she didn't. Takara looks around, taking in the scenery around us. I pause to enjoy it as well. The desert stretches in one direction, the forest in another. Almost beautiful, isn't it? Not almost, it's very beautiful. I'd love to stop and take it in, especially with good company. Something to think about when you have good company, I suppose. That's not a sigh, hardly believing I have to actually explain myself. You're in the good company I was talking about. I was trying to be subtle. Takara looks at me for a moment and smiles slightly. She nudges my arm with hers. We don't have time for that, unfortunately. Unfortunately is a good word for it. Liara normally takes the lead, but I can see her falling behind. I pick her up when she stumbles and she smiles. I don't want to hear anything about me being too little for this, even if it's kinda true. Well, if you already own it, it's no fun, but seriously, are you feeling okay? It doesn't matter if I am or not. We have an egg to get. That will fix everything. Manila envelopes determined independence. Takara's intelligent and wild spirit, and Liara always determined to prove her worth. Each of these women is fierce in their own way, gorgeous too. I I can't help but be in awe of them. You getting hurt won't help anything. I'd rather struggle behind you guys than get carried. I thought you'd trust me enough to carry you. Liara blushes. It's not about trust, it's about pulling my own weight. I'm just as capable as you three. More capable than Shane, even at half strength. That makes everyone laugh. Sure enough, we get to a huge ledge. I see a nest and take a slow breath. Griffins are formidable, and facing one, even with the skill of this group, has me uneasy. We already have so much trouble back at camp. Adding to it with this extra task is daunting. If I head up, it'll take too long, so it's better if I keep watch from here. Liara, you have better eyes than any of us. I'd appreciate it if you joined me. Sure, thanks for recognising my talents. So, you'll both stay down here while Kunya and I go up to get the egg, got it? Now that that's settled, let's get up there. Lead the way, fugitive, says the woman that just laid out the plan. Takara and I head up to the nest, while Manila and Liara keep an eye out for the mother. Griffin mothers never leave the nest alone for long. I take a deep breath before stepping into the nest, thinking about how griffins have a good sense of smell. That means my scent will linger. I'll be up in a second. Don't. If she comes back, I can pass off the egg and run. She should follow me. No need to play at being brave. I'm definitely not brave, but it will give you three an opportunity to take it down. I grab the egg, and shortly after, Takara and I make it out to the nest. Just as I hold up the egg in victory, Manila shouts, "It's coming!" Laura, any chance you can calm this one down? I'm not sure how to appeal to a mother that's losing her baby. But let's go, we'll separate if necessary. We make a mad dash into the trees as the griffin stops at her nest, lets out a long screech and scans the rocks. None of us move, but I see that Lara's definitely not doing well. I'm not exactly how we're going to get out of this without her agility. Takara holds the egg and nods to me. I throw a medium-sized rock as far as I can, which starts a slew of other rocks falling and grabs the griffin's attention. We run. I notice Manila carrying Liara. As soon as we get some proper cover, she sets Liara down. Liara gets sick right away, clutching her stomach tightly. You have to make it home, Liara. Just focus on being in Manila's dreamy arms. Please, my arms are clearly better. I need your arms free in case I need to jump into them. Liara groans. I can't tell how much of it is due to pain and how much of it is just annoyance. Everyone's arms are great, okay? Just get me back to camp. Griffin screeches again. It's a sad sound and my heart aches for her little. We don't look back. Laura's a bit green by the time we reach camp and she can't keep her stomach in check. Manila's tired and Takara has a light sheen of sweat over her skin. It's a lot for anyone to handle. I deliver the egg to Luna. Is this what you needed? It is. Bring Liara in here. I can treat her as soon as I finish this up. Manila drops Liara off in the tent and we rest for a moment. Water is so unappealing right now that we just sit and wait for more updates. Soon enough, Shane arrives. Based on his frustrated face, I doubt he has good news. I at least hope everything's okay. He sits down with the men. Everything is okay with the village based on what we could see. Any sign of Meryl? Oh yes, of course. I just completely forgot to mention the one thing that will get us home faster. Always looking for an excuse to be nasty, Shane. He snorts at both of us, but I'm happy his theory was wrong, even if he seems disappointed that we can't drop everything and run back to the village. It's better to be wrong about something like this. Hopefully this is the hardest sunset we'll face. At least we know everyone will survive the poisoning. That is enough of a success for today. Now that everyone's here, we can finally resume the mission. Liara is especially eager to make up for needing to be taken care of yesterday. I'll go on ahead with some of the other owls so that we can find Meryl faster. Go, be safe and remember to be cautious. We are in dark elf territory now. Sorry, my mouse is a bit sensitive, so it keeps clicking it and going off into the save menu. Lara nods and then joins the owls leaving camp. They disappear into the horizon quickly. I respect her choice to go with them, but I still worry about her, especially since I know some of our fellow nomads will take this as a sign she's favouring the elves. And of course, there's always the usual worry that she'll encounter enemies and other dangers out there too. Takara pats my shoulder gently, already knowing what's on my mind. She's capable, and small and normally has us. Don't let her hear that. We share a small smile before Takara grew serious again. I'm worried about her too, but we need to trust her. She's an adult and we can't always be there to watch her back. This will be a learning experience for her, and us, I suppose. I guess. I'm not sure I want to learn how to do without Liara, but I know that Takara is right. It's only a matter of time until I'll be forced to let her go anyway, assuming we find Meryl and Liara goes through the marriage. I spend the next few hours sulking as we follow behind the elves Liara left with. It's fairly difficult since even though we know where they plan to go, they don't leave any traces of their presence. Eventually, Liara and one other elf come towards us. They both have blood on their clothes and Liara looks like she's been in a fight. I grip my staff tighter and see Takara and Melilla prepare for battle. But no beast or enemy follows Liara and the elf she's with, an elegantly dressed male elf that I've never seen before. Could he be? I glanced at Melilla. Is it possible we're just noticing whatever attacked them? As possible as it is for you to agree with Shane, even so. Prepare for the worst. You have a way with words, Takara and Melilla. Make sure Luna's ready to heal, just in case. That's Prince Meryl. Our suspicions are confirmed when one of the elves travelling with us recognises him. Melilla jogs back to where Luna is as Meryl and Liara reach us. Nomads and elves alike approach, wanting to make sure that the prince and Liara are okay. I wrap Liara in my arms. Even with Meryl there, I'm just happy she's safe. She hugs me back. You're safe now. Nothing will get to you while you're in my arms. She tightens her hold of me as I rub her back. What happened? Where are the other elves? My father refocuses us and the whispers die down. Liara squeezes my arm and looks over at Meryl. I was kidnapped by dark elves, but some kind of beast I've never seen before attacked them. A giant spider or something that came from the under the sand. A beast we've never heard of. I glance at Takara and she gives me a slight shake of her head. I'm not sure if it's a sign to stay quiet or if she questions a statement like I do, but we both hold our tongue. Just because we haven't seen it, wow. I took advantage of the situation and stole a knife. I killed the dark elf guarding me and ran while the other elves were fighting the spider beasts. Liara curls against me tighter and I hold her close to my chest. I hope the steady beating of my heart calms her. But the beast was still after me. That's when I met Liara and the others. Unfortunately, even with us putting up a fight, only Liara and I managed to escape. The beast, they ate the bodies. I can't get over the chewing. I turn her head to face me. I'm just about to calm her when Shane spits on the ground close to Meryl's feet. I know he doesn't believe the elf. I don't blame him. Melilla and Takara are keeping their faces passive just like Luna. None of us have heard of such creatures and we live in the desert, but I trust Liara. She's never given me a reason not to. This is very serious news. We must travel back to Grantry and report it. The remaining elves agree. There are very few of them now. Most wanted to prove themselves by heading out in front of us nomads. Woo! The long walk back to Grantry is mostly quiet. We're all thinking our own thoughts about this new beast and what has happened. As we get closer, a new elf greets us. She has thick red hair that hides her ears and her lithe body is draped in leaves. Those leaves don't cover everything, and the light muscle on her frame along with her delicate curves make her seem like the nymphs of legend. She's beautiful and more. Some of our party members murmur words of appreciation. I can't help but agree. I am Elder Druid Mirth. We were aware you were coming. Hello, I'm Chief Gora of the Desert Snakes. Mirth nods as she looks over our party. When she moves closer to us, her nose wrinkles, showing her disgust, but it's cute too. I am able to sense dark magic, demons and demonic things. The other elders wanted to make sure you weren't followed by the dark elves. Her eyes search our ranks and focus on Meryl. Meryl shows the dark elf blood on him and she calms a bit before nodding. Feel free to set up camp, we have much to discuss. We set up camp, but after a look for my father, make sure to stay close. As child of the chief, we need to pay attention at everything going on around me to make sure that I'm aware of as much as possible. Like he said, choosing who we trust is going to be difficult. Please explain what happened. The caravan was attacked by dark elves and I was taken. I overheard them saying they don't want an alliance between Grand Tree Triberg and the Desert Snakes. They said that it would be danger to them. Meryl tells the same story he told us and I make a note of the details. There aren't many. I suppose that could be normal. A great deal happened, but I don't need to hear the same thing again. I check in on Leorin and help the others set up, making sure everyone is taken care of and has what they need. Thankfully, we managed to replace all the water and ensure that it's safe. I feel better about our chances of getting home in one piece now. We haven't had any large losses so far. We still have Hibernia to prepare for. There's so much to keep in mind. No wonder the chief has to be capable of more than violence and domination in battle. My father goes to speak with Mirth, then calls me over as well. I catch Takara paying close attention, but only because I know her so well. I doubt anyone else would notice what she's up to since she keeps her eyes on her weapon as she sharpens and polishes it. Something is not right here. The poison water, tailored specifically to kill elves. Meryl being kidnapped. Those strange spider-like beasts that happen to attack the Dark House at the perfect moment. Then Meryl manages to kill a guard and escape into the desert. A noble like him with limited training. This isn't adding up. What about Shane and his men? They were the only group not affected by the poison. There's too many suspicious things adding up. I agree, you need to investigate. There are elven casualties both in the caravan and in the rescue party. We must conduct the investigation here and now. I can help by using magic to investigate. Kunya, since you are known to most, it would make sense for you to speak to everyone. But be careful how you ask questions. Some methods will get you more answers than others. Of course, I'll check on everyone and see if we can learn more. Keep everything you know in mind, but be open to change your opinion on others if necessary. I nod and take a look at the people around camp. Where to begin? I approach Mirth, who is another elf. I know that I need to get as many opinions as I can, considering this is a sensitive matter. If I only speak to my own camp, the numbers will be skewed. Mirth. Kenya, this is my brother Ray. Hey, we met already. I remember you, the giant snake. I incline my head to them both quickly. I'd like to know your opinions. I'm sure you've been informed of what's gone on, and you know Meryl better than any of us. Ray and Mirth consider that, or I think they do. Ray makes it obvious that he's remembering things, but Mirth's face doesn't change. Meryl would stand no chance against a dark elf. I don't doubt Leora's skill, but she couldn't find a party of dark elves to survive on her own. I nod in agreement. I love Leora, but she's not the most tenacious fighter. Takara Miller and even myself would have been better odds at staying alive from that kind of pressure. I definitely felt a demonic presence when you all arrived. That would mean that the blood on Meryl's and Leora's bodies came from a dark elf. I can't deny that they fought them. So, the blood of dark elves is demonic somehow. Many years ago, some elves formed a blood pact with demons. Just the dark elves were born. They have demon blood in their veins and I can feel it. So this story could be true. It's possible that Beast helped fight the dark elves off and gave the two time to escape, as they've said. Unfortunately, no one else was there to confirm what did or did not happen. That would have made this process much easier. No clue, Amber. The story about the beast who helped Meryl and Laura could be true, but there are no witnesses. You just obtained a clue. In this case, it was an automatic. In the next scene, you need to pick the right answer to get the clue. Continue. I agree, but somewhere in all the stories and opinions is the truth. I leave Mirth and her brother. They've been giving me plenty to think about, that's for sure. Finding the truth. Talk to each character and pick the right answer to gather clues. The bar on top will fill up for each clue gathered. The story will continue in any case, but if you manage to discover the truth on your own, you'll get an achievement. Shane. I approached Shane. I have plenty of questions, especially when it comes to the poisoning. When he sees me, he laughs and shakes his head. No one should be able to laugh so easily in these times. Of course I'm a suspect. Everyone is. Except you if you're the one asking questions. The sooner I ask, the sooner I'm gone. Shane looks at me over and nods once. We have plenty to do and time is valuable. While we may be opposite sides of the same piece, we both know that there's too much going on to be ignored. Then ask away. I want to get back to our village as soon as possible. Let's go to water. Plenty of our own, and the owls got sick. How did you and your men avoid that fate? Shane shrugs and then rests his arms on his knees as he looks up at me. It's simple. I use my own jugs and never trust anyone. My own personal reserve is the only thing I can trust, and I always keep them near me so nobody can poison them. I suppose I can't blame you, especially in a situation like this. Shane wasn't poisoned because he is so paranoid that he only drinks water from his personal reserve. At least you recognise that much. It does raise questions all the same, smart or not, you know that. Shane gets up and tries to stare me down. Why don't we talk about Liara? How is it that despite these beasts we keep hearing about, she made it back with Meryl alone? Is she suddenly able to charm a huge amount of creatures? And if she could do that, why didn't the rest of the elves survive? Stay focused. You're not the only one that wants answers. How about you look outside our community? I hate Shane, I really do. Every part of me recognises he talks big but rarely delivers. He can't be entirely trusted, but he's raised good points. He managed to keep his voice down. Maybe he was even helpful. So, is the interrogation done? You've raised good points, I'll keep them in mind. Shane seems surprised that I acknowledge him, but doesn't say anything as I walk away. I'm too much to think about, that's for certain. Blood of Manila. I head over to where Melina is. She's grumbling to herself, and as I get closer, I figure out that it's about the water incident. I shake my head slightly. She's always too hard on herself, sure that she should have more knowledge than anyone else because of her age. I shouldn't have drunk from the other water jugs. Someone with my experience shouldn't have done that. Hey, you're okay. That's the main point you should focus on, right? Hey, Kunya, I know I'm okay this time, but I really have to be more careful. I can't afford to mess up like that again. It's too damaging. I nod, but Miller sits and looks at me expectantly. What can I help you with? I'm asking everyone some questions to make sure I haven't missed anything over the last few days. Of course, I'm ready to answer anything. Let's go up Miller's story. Besides the fact that he was able to free himself from the Dark Elf God, who we know are skilled, do you have any issues with the story? Until Manila is organising her thoughts, she weighs a few things out in her mind and lets out a heavy breath before stepping closer to me. Why would the Dark Owls kidnap him? That's a question I keep coming back to, especially when he is so far from the border. If the Dark Owls wanted to stop the marriage, the best move would have been to kill him. Keeping him alive makes no sense in any way. So why would they? That's what I can't figure out. Keeping him alive risks him escaping, and it risks starting a fight with the other owls of Grand Tree. Even if they have differing opinions, Tobar would never be so stupid. She has a really good point there. Dark owls are plenty vicious, but they're not stupid. And their leader, Tobar, is a druid himself. He'd never allow something like this, not with so many risks and no reward. I hadn't thought of it like that. It doesn't make any sense from the very beginning. It's like we're missing something, and I'm betting that something would make all the pieces fit together. I nod. I like being able to talk to you so openly, Miller. You always make me think. It's pretty sexy. Miller rolls her eyes and shakes her head despite the light smile. Don't flirt with me just to put me in a better mood. Is that all? Yep, that's all for now. I just want to make sure that I'm thinking through all the options and not jumping to conclusions. That's a good trait in a leader. I know you'll do right by us. That's always the goal. I want to give my people the best, whether I'm chief or not. I'm going to do whatever I can for those I care about, and those that help our village flourish. Hi Meryl, I know we haven't really met. I'm Kunya, the child of Chief Goro. Meryl looks over me and raises his nose. He's not impressed by me, but what should I was expecting from an elven noble? I grew up with Liara. I see, and what do you want? Alright, right to the point then. I just want to know a little more about what happened, how you were able to escape and everything else that's transpired. We like to share tales around the fire. I've already said what I have to say. I don't need to give any more explanations. I'm just curious. Killing a dark elf guard is a feat. If I can teach those in my village how to do it, then something good will come of this. He sizes me up almost as if he's determining my worth, but he's frustrated and defensive all the same. As if your kind could. The guard was distracted and I used the guard's knife to kill him. It was an easy to grab while he was focused on something else. There's nothing more to say about it. I acted on instinct. Distracted by what? I already answered this. Sorry, there's been so much going on. I want to make sure I understand. He snorts and shakes his head. He's frustrated and hostile. I'm not sure it is because we're different species or something else. We were attacked by those beast monsters, the spider creatures. It drew his attention away from me, so I was able to grab the knife. There was chaos and I took advantage of it. It doesn't take that much to disarm someone who's not paying attention. I see, so it's luck and quick timing. Your kind probably wouldn't have been able to react quickly enough. I'm done talking about this. He glares at me, continuing to watch me until I back away. Maybe I'm too used to shame, wanting to give everyone every detail of his battles, real and pretend. I'm still suspicious about Morrow. He's so dismissive and he doesn't go into details. He didn't show me how his hands are positioned or anything like that. Lack of details makes me question how truthful he's being. Takara. I head over to find Takara taking care of her weapons. She always makes sure they're in perfect condition and ready for any fight that comes up. When she sees me, she turns, sighs and prepares for my questions. I'm sure she knows that they're necessary. She's hot-headed, but she doesn't miss much. I'll tell you up front, I can't be of much help. What makes you say that? You're always helpful. I'm a fighter, I'm not good at all this clue finding. It's like you already know what questions I'm going to ask before I can even ask them. Takara scoffs and shakes her head. I know I have questions on my own, like what is the point? If it's a plan executed by Liara and Meryl, what are they getting out of this? If Shane is trying to take control of the village, why use a poison? And when did he poison the water? He's always on his own. I never saw him getting close to our jugs. See, you pay plenty of attention. You have strength, smarts, and sex appeal. Takara swats at me, so I'll jump out of the way. She laughs, and her smile drops off her face. I feel like it's impossible to know the truth anymore about anything. Well, I should still ask some questions, just to make sure that I don't overlook anything. I'm sure you know more than you realise. Ask away then. If it can make us even a little bit safer, I want to help. Look at Liara. What do you notice? Takara takes a long look at her and sighs softly. I just can't believe that Liara is involved in anything. Sure, she's not pure nomad, but she's always been loyal. Very true. Even if she doesn't want to marry Meryl, she wouldn't poison people or tell lies to keep from happening. She's never been that sort of person. And even if she suddenly was, we would have caught her right away. That's true. Her emotions play on her face as obviously as if she's saying them. Exactly, it'd be too much for her. I don't think she's adding to any kind of trouble here. I think she's just as swept up as we are. Thank you, and see, there's plenty of intelligence in that gorgeous head. Oh, stop, you. She punches my arm and winks. You're more helpful than you know. Maybe you're just half blind to the world. Either way, I appreciate you for more than a view. Takara waves me off on her smile, but this just adds to what's already been on my mind. There's so much to consider, and with how many different voices in camp, I'm not sure how I'm going to find the right answers. Liara. I approach Liara. She's sitting down and she cleans herself. There's no blood on her anymore, but she's still closed off. She looks so alone. She's a friend I've had for a long time, but I still have to question her. Liara, it's been an eventful day, hasn't it? How are you? Lyra sighs and welcomes me to sit with her. Then she rubs her arms and groans. It's been too much for one day. I just want it to be done. No one can blame you for that. Soon enough we can all lay down and get some rest, I promise. Lyra nods, but her eyes are far away. She scratches at her legs and sighs. I'm sorry, but I do have to ask some questions. Now, really? Am I under some kind of suspicion? I'm talking to everyone to make sure I haven't missed anything and that I'm not jumping to conclusions. Sure, of course you are. Go ahead then. Let's get it over with. She's already angry and frustrated. I don't know if it's because of everything that's happened so far or that she's mad at me. She knows we all have duties. She knows I care, doesn't she? Asked about the beasts. It must have been terrifying to see something we've never seen before. The eye shifts slightly. It was. They were like giant spiders, but more. What do you mean more? They're capable of burrowing under the sand like worms. That's definitely new. Lyra squeezes her legs to her chest and shoots me an angry glare. I know she doesn't want to relive this. I saw them. They're very fast and very deadly. I'm not questioning your vision, Lyra. I only want details. I'm surprised we managed to escape alive. How did you? Did they get distracted or something? It's thanks to my Beastmaster skills. I was able to calm down the closest one and run away with Meryl. It fell behind. We didn't look back until we ran into you. It's okay, you're safe now. You're here with us. Lyra looks at me and can tell that for the first time she doubts that's true. She doesn't believe that she's safe and that hurts. I'm sorry for adding more pressure to your day. You should get some rest. You deserve it more than most. Lyra relaxes a little and I see her shoulders drop. I want to believe her, but she's so different. She's never been so defensive, and something isn't right. There's this pulling in my mind that says she hasn't told me everything, that she's still holding out. Da-da, Luna. I approach Luna. She's going through her items, checking things, and taking the moment to get off her feet after a long day of walking. She sees me and nods. Luna, are you happy to finally be getting a break? Very much so. My legs are going to be toned like yours soon enough. I like you exactly as you are, soft and... Luna blushes slightly and looks away, fiddling with a bottle she's already took. Anyway, I'm asking everyone a few questions to make sure I haven't missed anything. I know you've been stuck at camp all this whole time, but it's okay if I ask you a few things. You can always ask me, couldn't you? I don't know how much help I can be. I spend most of my time making potions and balms, and I was so busy making the anti-poison and cure. Thank you for that, by the way. No one could have done it but you. You're twice as beautiful when you're saving lives. She tries to stop herself from smiling, but I see it slip a little. Unfortunately, I can't spend all night flirting with her. I have serious questions to ask. Go ahead and ask. That's about the water. Luna considers my question for a moment, then shrugs slightly. Some people weren't affected at all. There are some accusations being passed around, though. I'm sure you heard them. I'm more suspicious of Shane than Lyra. She was hurt by the poison and couldn't have known I'd be here when we filled the water jugs back home. The poison couldn't have been added later? Luna shakes her head slowly and leans close to me so that she can keep her voice low. She always smells like fresh herbs and flowers. It's intoxicating. That's impossible. There's no way our culprit could have been poisoned so many jugs without being seen. They'd have been caught. It's true that no one knew you'd be coming with us until the last moment. And even if they had known, there was no guarantee that we'd be able to find the right ingredients. Lyra could have died or remained severely injured forever. That poison is so hard on the elven body. I don't think you should risk her life like that. Luna claims the poison couldn't have been added late to the water jugs, and that Lyra could have died or remained seriously injured forever if she wasn't there. That's a very good point. I didn't realise that it was that bad. Thank you. You've given me a lot to think about, Luna. I'm sure I didn't help much. A cup of cheek. I miss seeing you these last few days. Hopefully we get more time together when we leave this place. Always the flatterer, Kun. You know you deserve it, and I know I mean it. I leave her to finish organising her things and hopefully get some rest. Luna tends to be neutral, but she did make me think about what we are experiencing, and she always makes me reconsider what I think I know. And continue. After I'm done talking, some things are more apparent than others. There's been plenty of back and forth, and maybe now I can make an informed choice based on what has happened. I should still run my findings through my father, Mirth, though. Can you join us? I follow my father to Mirth and take a deep breath as I stand in front of them. I notice you've had a chance to speak to everyone. Now comes the hard part. We need to imprison someone to show that we have strength and control. They won't be punished until we're sure they're guilty, but the suspect should be held captive as a precaution. Meanwhile, we will continue to gather more clues about what's going on. Of course, we cannot afford to lose more lives or cause a diplomatic incident with the Dark Elves. I take another deep breath, getting ready to share what I've learned. I'm not sure what to think about those giant beasts. We never heard of them before. I think Liara is not lying, but you're not sure she's telling the whole truth? Yes, I'm sorry. Lena confirmed that it would have either done that or left her injured forever. I can't believe that Lara would do that to herself for any reason. That would mean Lara is innocent. Okay, that's one person ruled out. I paused briefly before continuing. Shane didn't drink the poison, which I thought was suspicious, but he's paranoid and only drinks from his personal reserves. Really? I knew he was strange, but it's true. I've heard stories about how he thinks everyone wants to kill him. My father nods, urging me to continue. As far as I'm concerned, Takara and Manila were poisoned and put down for a while. Neither have shown any sign of dissent, so they're innocent as well. I vouch for that. The only other unknown for me and the others is Meryl. I suspect Mirth to glare at me for that, but she simply considers it and motions for me to continue with my thoughts. Meryl said that when the beast attacked the Dark House, there was chaos and he was able to untie himself and escape. Well, if we believe in the existence of those beasts, I think it's possible. Yeah, you don't really pay attention to your hostage when a giant monster is attacking you. This is what I found. Unfortunately, I'm not sure it's enough to accuse anyone. My father looks at the elderly and Mirth for an opinion on the matter. I know him well, and I see a glint of doubt on his face, like if he knew that something is missing. To be honest, I have the same feeling too, that I missed a clue, that I didn't ask the right person the right question. Thanks for your help. I spoke with my brother Ray before. He pointed out that if Meryl was tied and kidnapped, there'd be signs on his wrists. Instead, there is no rope burn, no bruising. Of course! How could I have missed this? This doesn't necessarily mean he's guilty, but he's definitely a suspect. She motions the two guards and they go to Meryl. They tell him they'd like to get him cleaned up and comfortable in a proper house fitting his title. He goes willingly, Mirth sighs. We will hold him there overnight and interrogate him the next day. I will appreciate your assistance. You both deserve some rest. Before I get the rest that Mirth recommends, I check in on the others. I want to make sure everyone is doing well. I look for Takara among the others. I find her near some owls practicing archery. There are a few targets for her to hit. I stay at a distance to take it all in. Her muscles ripple as she turns the bow. Her stance puts her on complete display, and I'd have to be crazy not to take a long look at her. She lets the arrow go and burrows itself into the ground. An elf chuckles, but Takara, as competitive as she is, can't leave it at that. She tries another 2 times and nearly hits an elf. I shake my head ever so slightly before walking over to join. Can I try? One of the elves hands me a bow. I'm not an expert either, but I can't resist the urge to try. It takes a few attempts and some coaching from the elves, but I manage to hit the centre of the target. I grin and nod to myself. Takara huffs. You were just lucky, that's all. Maybe I should try you with someone else. Clearly the bow isn't the right weapon for you. I wouldn't worry about it though. I know how skilled you are with other weapons. Takara narrows her eyes and my arrow sticking out of the chest of one of the targets. I see something flash across her eyes. I want to get proficient with ranged weapons. It would be helpful in plenty of situations, that's true. I look around, there are more ranged weapons than just bows. I find a spear and pull it from the ground, then I hand it to Takara. There are multiple ways to achieve a goal. She looks it over, then tosses it in her hand. After one adjustment, she hits one of the targets, ripping through 2 of them without hesitation. The owls move away, mumbling to one another. Takara and I laughs and I join in. That'll do it. Looks like the spear is the right weapon for you. Well, it just does no damage and it is more my style. And you even look better throwing it. Takara snorts but pats my shoulder, leaving me with a wink before heading to bed. I nod to her and feel my shoulders drop a little. After searching, I find Manila sitting in a high tree. I know the owls are expert climbers, but that's definitely not my strength. I'm glad they've given us some ladders so I can reach them. I sit next to Manila and find her gaze intently towards the horizon. I glance over but don't see anything. What are you looking at? Manila motions me closer and points in the distance. I scoot closer until her arms are nearly touching. As I squint as I feel her body heat brush mine. That city there behind those walls, it's Grimoire. It's the capital of the human empire. I try to focus but I can't really see it. The sun is low and there's some mist that makes everything hazy. It's amazing that Manila can see anything at all from this far away. Instead of just straining my eyes, look at Manila. Our faces are closer than I expected. Manila turns to look at me. Our noses almost brush as our eyes meet. I open my mouth to say something, anything, but nothing comes out. What are you looking at? I turn and cough lightly to break my silence. I kick my feet a little. Oh, I couldn't see the town, so I decided to look at you instead. Manila laughs gently. It's nice to know when I'm looked at, even at this age. I want to tell her she looks amazing no matter how old she is. I can't imagine her being more or less beautiful than she is right now. She's stunning, magical even. Before I can get a word out, Manila caresses my cheek and smiles gently. Her hand falls away, leaving heat rolling in the wake of her fingers. She turns her gaze back to the horizon. I gently stroke her shoulder. Make sure to get some rest tonight. Manila just nods as I leave her to ponder. I look for Liara and find her talking with some owls. As I slowly move closer, I start to overhear them discussing elven culture. Liara waves at the others as they leave. Gently I replace them. Liara's smile doesn't fall even for a moment. You seem to be enjoying yourself. I am. I'm glad those owls seem to have distracted her from all of our current problems. What have you learned about so far? The mythology of the elven forest, the weird, it stretches back to the old age when the Death Knights ruled. The first druid, Mother Nature, cried and her tears became the seeds. She mourned the scorched earth so much that her tears covered all of Avervorn. She brought green back into the world. That's beautiful. Even though I don't follow the words or the lore, I can piece it together. But she was killed by a death knight on the spot where the grand tree now stands. A single sapling rose from her grave. The druids came to be from that specific tree, and that tree became a forest over time. Eventually a population will make that forest home. Those people became the owls we know. They adapted to forest life so completely that their affinity for nature has become the core of who they are. Her excitement wows me. I rarely get to see her so upbeat, especially about a story. I feel a slow smile turn my lips upward. Are you happy discovering more about the other half of yourself? The stories are interesting, but I'm not sure I really belong with them. A young owl walks by as I'm about to respond and nods to Liara while smiling. She may not be so sure she fits in, but the owls definitely don't see it that way. They've already accepted her. You've already gained some admirers. The owls obviously appreciate you, or at least they appreciate your looks. Liara huffs and tosses her pale hair over her shoulder. Maybe they won't tease me over my small breasts. I blink at the response. I've never called her little because of her breasts. I use the word because of how little she was when we found her and how delicate she's always seemed, but maybe she took it as a sign that she's different. I exhale slowly as I scratch the back of my neck. I never meant it like that, but I'm sorry. I didn't realise how much it got to you. Liara doesn't look at me. I can't promise I won't slip up and make jokes, but I like you as you are, for who you are. Really? You're still going to slip up and make jokes? I laugh anxiously. Well, I'm not perfect, and you're cute when you blush. But I'm going to do my best. I don't want you to feel bad, especially not around me. Liara considers that and nods before heading to bed with a yawn. I follow her with my eyes before heading in my own direction. To Luna. I look around for Luna and find her in an odd place. It's a square. There are various stores, potions, and herbs, and Luna is hard at work. I approach and she turns to face me slowly, flashing a smile while moving some of the ingredients around. I've tried some new recipes and some new ingredients. I knew the owls were excellent healers and alchemists, but I never imagined how much they really know. I smile as she continues moving things around and examining ingredients with a skilled eye. I don't really understand half of what she says or what certain things are, but I like seeing her excited. She's so eager, she's practically bouncing. Luna turns after a moment and rubs over her calf. I'm sorry, Kun. I'm being rude. You must be so bored. I'm never boring. I don't understand much of what you're talking about, but just looking at you and how excited you are while discovering all this makes me smile. Luna cocks her head to the side, obviously confused. I chuckle. Seeing you so happy makes me happy too. Luna blushes and twirls on the flowers between her fingers before putting it back. She then clears her throat and picks up a root, quickly turning to the elf and asking what it's for. It has many properties, mainly we use it as an aphrodisiac. Luna drops the root, blushing a deep red. Her gaze is fixed on the table in front of her as I laugh. So this is what you want to experiment with. I'm happy to stay and help you out. I don't mean, your mind is so dirty. You should get the root. Her hand inches closer, but she doesn't take it. I feel our conversation is at a standstill now that she's this embarrassed. At least it's adorable. I'll leave you to your exploration. She splutters, but I walk away, giving her some space. As I lay down and assume it would be hard to sleep, but I'm dreaming in no time. It's shockingly easy to fall asleep after all the excitement today. I wake and then enjoy breakfast and a bit of relaxation. By early afternoon, everyone's recovered with Luna's help. Elder Druid Mirth calls Goro, and I start the investigation, even if she doesn't put it that way. Her brother Ray goes with us. Unfortunately, Maro isn't where he's supposed to be. He's escaped. I round on Mirth and narrow my eyes. What is this? Was there no security at all? How could he have gotten free? Calm yourself. We couldn't truly put a noble or another town, a prince no less, under the arrest without clear proof. Well, where did he go? West, to Gridmore. Humans aren't friendly with elves. And to the north there's a desert. To the east there's dark elf territory. And no sane elf would ever go there. We leave the house and return to camp only to hear plenty of excitement. My heart drops. Is it too much to ask for one peaceful day where we can rest and recoup? An elf messenger has arrived from Grand Tree's lookout. They're obviously exhausted, but they must have said something about being urgent for so many nomads to be invested. Luna gives the man water, but even that doesn't calm him. Mirth joins us and the elf straightens up immediately. What's the news? Why won't you tell us? Let the man catch his breath so he can shade. Finally, the elf messenger seems to calm down enough to speak. He looks around at all of us. We're eagerly waiting to hear what news he has and why it's so important. We've spotted some strange beasts heading south. He takes a deep breath, but no one says a word. Towards the desert snake's village, there are many of them. It's something I've never seen before. They're too quick. How quick? They're likely to arrive at the village soon. We need to go back there immediately. Shane enters the car at take-off, starting to bark orders about packing and being ready to leave. No one will defy them, I'm sure of that. Chief Goro rubs his face and looks at me with concern. I feel it too. None of this is coincidence. I'll send some elven troops and haste potions with you to help you reach your village quickly. Are you sure these potions are very expensive? No need, you have done more than what we have asked of you. That's the least we can do in return. Thank you, we won't take this lightly. We owe you, and we'll find out what is happening here once our village is safe. Mirth nods, and our top warriors take the haste potions so that they will be able to reach our village quicker alongside the elves. Takara, Manila, Shane and I are lucky enough to get one of the potions, as is my father. Even with their added power, it takes a whole night to get to our home. When we arrive, the smoke alone tells me we weren't fast enough. The village is half destroyed. They're just as Lyra described them. I don't even think. I just throw myself into battle alongside my friends and fellow warriors. And I only manage to pull myself away from the fighting when I hear Luna yell my father's name. Chief Goro! He's been injured. The wound must be severe and deep based on the blood. I gasp, but that doesn't stop me from helping Luna pull him away from the battle. The owls and my fellow nomads press the beast back, but I know we aren't going to come out of this battle unscathed. It's impossible. We manage to get my father away from the battle and press hard on his wound. Luna pants as she gets supplies to wrap around him. I hold my father's hand tightly, trying to pull strength from those still in battle to keep me from crying. He could survive, I'm not sure. Another sob echoes, and I turn to see Shane holding Lorik. He lets out a horrible scream, one of rage and pain mixing together. Shane clutches Lorik's dead body, and I notice that he's splattered with blood, but he should survive. Shane meets my eyes, and I see his fury as he gently lets Lorik's body down. He died to save me, he's dead. I'm sorry for your loss. It never would have happened if you hadn't decided that we should leave the village. We should have stayed. We should have defended our own first. It never had to be like this. I couldn't see the future, and neither could you. You never put our people first, only yourself. Because of you, we'll all die. You're not the only one in pain. You're not the only one who's lost someone. Which validates me all the more. We never should have left. Then you should have stayed. No one forced you to go. Blame yourself, not me. Enough. Oh, Shane and I looked at Manila. She's panting and there's dirt and grime all over her, but the fire in her eyes can't be put out so easily. I sniff, clutching at my father who's fighting for his life. We have dead to bury, and some of us need to follow the beast to continue driving them out. We don't have time for this. Shane sneers at me despite all the tears in his eyes and moves towards the others that are pushing the giant spear to his back. Miller puts her hand on my shoulder. Trust Luna with your father. We need your strength in the village. There's too much pain right now, and you need to be strong for our people. I nod, and Manila helps Luna get my father into a tent so she can work on him. I help others grieve, help them bury their dead. I calm lost children, and I calm for my people. We put out fires, we reassemble what can be fixed, and Shane eventually comes back with the others. We repelled them, you're welcome. He's spitting at me, but I show him where Lorik is. More than one person came to put a token out for him. Shane stares for a long while, opens his mouth and closes it. He's not mine to bury, Shane, but I'm willing to help you. No one deserves this pain. He deserved more than death, my Lorik. I know he deserved a long and happy life, with victory on his shoulders. I can still hate Shane and understand how he's feeling. He nods to me once, says he doesn't need help, especially from me, then takes care of his fallen friend. I wish I could offer more to everyone in a village that has lost someone. I wish we had never gotten into this mess. I wish that life had always been carefree and easy, safer than the village. But I know there's no going back and there's worse to come. My father is clinging to life, but his recovery is anything but assured. There's nothing certain waiting for us in the coming days. Nights weigh heavily on us all. News of Chief Goro's injuries have spread across the entire village. Any news? Luna is doing her best. She's practically living in my father's tent at this point, and Lara is always checking on them both. There has been no more news. I'm sorry, Kunya, I really hope Goro makes it. Thank you, but even if this was his final battle, he lived and died for his tribe, like my mother to Kana. I know that's what he wanted, so I hope that if the worst comes, at least he'll be in peace. I look at Manila, who seems ready to cry upon her hearing my words. It's like mentioning Takana somehow moved her. I'm not sure why, but there's no time to ask since she moves away. The fires are lit to keep us warm, and I know plenty of people are on high alert, watching for the return of the beast that came through our village once already. Without the notice of the Alvin messenger, it would have been worse. I know that, but part of me, a selfish part, wishes I'd learned even later. Maybe then my father would have been spared and Laura would be alive, but no one else would have been, and we would still have fought. Many still would have been hurt. Quiet in the desert around us makes me more uneasy. They could be waiting if, like Liara said, they can tunnel under the sand, and they can strike at any time, even if everything seems calm now. It's dark, it's chilly, and I can imagine more bloodshed, which means I'm sure it can happen. As a child of Chief Goro, I have to protect those around me, talking to those I hold dear, making sure they're okay as a start. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum. Ba-da-ba-ba-bum, ba-da-ba. Oh, it took Luna. I go to speak to Luna. She runs back and forth between Goro's tent and her own. I know that everyone who could be saved is with their families now. Luna is an efficient worker. I stand in her path as she ends up running into me, bracing against my chest. She looks at her hands and jerks them away as I smile slightly. Go ahead, you can put your hands back where they were. I can handle it, especially if it gets you to take a break. Luna puts her hands behind her back and exhales, looking back at Goro's tent. I nod once, and my own smile drops. Do you even have a moment? Honestly, I just keep going in and out because I'm nervous. There's nothing else I can do for Howard, Chief. Those creatures, their venom spreads fast. I did my best. I tried every cure. I'm sure you did. There's nothing left to do now except wait. But if I don't do something, I'm going to go crazy. Let me distract you then, just for a moment. I don't know. You should take a break. Luna gates at me, looks back at the tent and turns her gaze at me again. If it's useless, why don't you go and sit down and just rest for a moment? Luna's face heats, but her lips go narrow as she presses them together. I haven't seen her angry in a long time, but I recognise the warning. I take a step back and start to put my hands up. I can't stand around watching Chief Goro die. That's not what I said. I just think that if you take a moment to breathe, you can release some stress. That's good for both of you. She considers that and calms down a fraction. I know you can't just do nothing. I never asked you to ignore a problem. That's what it sounded like you were saying, though. I worry about your health too. I'm fine, but I need to check on him again. He's starting to get a fever, and it will make him worse. If I'm there, he can break it quickly and help. She whistles back to the tent, disappearing inside. A large part of me wants to follow to sit on my father's side and hold his hand, but I know he'd want me out here comforting as many people as I can. I take a slow breath. You'll need a break someday, Luna. Since I know Luna can't stop for more than a few minutes, I head off. I can only think my words to stick with her. She's more capable than she thinks, but I'm glad she's putting my father first. He's lucky to have someone like her, determined to care for him no matter what the odds are. I know that if anything serious were to happen to me, I want Luna to be one in charge of my well-being. And that is all for this session. I'll see you again soon for Beastmaster Princess. Bye for now.